Hi, I'm Barbara Renner, and I write children's picture books about Quincy the Quail. What I would like to do today with you is to have you write a story using descriptive words, and this is called showing, not telling. And what do I mean by that? When we read a story, we want to visualize what's going on in the story, so it's very interesting to us. That means we have to use a lot of descriptive words and action verbs in our story. So that is called show, don't tell. So I'm going to give you some examples so you'll know exactly what I mean. The first example here, Ryan was hungry. Okay, so we know Ryan was hungry, but it doesn't really show us anything. To make it more interesting, we can say, Ryan's stomach growled louder than a barking dog. Now, doesn't that give you a good picture in your mind of how hungry Ryan was? The next example here is the giant walked into the room. All right, we know that a giant walked into the room, but let's make it more exciting by showing our reader what happened. A hairy green giant stomped through the door, shaking the pictures off the wall. Now you can see that it's more of a showing you what's happening. What I'm going to do now is read 3 passages from my book, Quincy the Quail Saves a Life. And we're going to first see how telling it would be. So the first example is, if I told this, the chicks run to Quincy. Well, that's not very exciting, is it? So in my book, I have the chicks tear around a bush and skid to a stop in front of Quincy. There, that's showing you how the chicks ran to Quincy. The second example is Quincy and his family run to a neighborhood of houses. So yes, we know that's telling you what they did, but showing it is much different. Let's go. Quincy scurries ahead, leading the way. They leave their desert home and scamper over rock lawns between big houses. So that gives you an image in your mind of where they're going. The last example here is when they meet the hummingbirds. The telling is 2 hummingbirds fly out of the bush. So we're going to show you how they really behaved. Suddenly, 2 hummingbirds rise out of the flowers, buzzing at each other. They fly up and buzz. They fly down and buzz. One hummingbird soars over the wall. Now you're going to watch a video of a family of quail who found a pot of water in the desert. And they're drinking this cool, fresh water because they're so thirsty, because the desert might be very hot. It is the Sonoran Desert after all, and in the middle of the summer, it can be very hot in the Sonoran Desert. So you're going to watch this video by Maggie Lineberry Photography, and then I want you to be thinking about how you can describe each of those actions that they do so that you are showing and not telling in the story that you're going to write about the video. Wasn't that a fun video? I just love to watch those chicks drink the water from that pot. So let's help you write your story. Now, if I just wanted to tell you what the chicks were doing, I might say something like, the chicks were thirsty. Yes, they were thirsty, but let's make it more exciting by showing how thirsty they were. The chicks threw back their heads so the cool water would trickle down their dry throats. That gives you more of a visual, doesn't it? It's more descriptive. The water was good. Yeah, I suppose the water was good, but how good was it? The cold water slipped down the chicks' throats and filled their tummies. That gives you more of a visual about how the water went down. The next example is, I could say, the quail drank water. Yes, the quail did drink water. To make it more exciting and to show the reader what really happened, you could say, Mama Quail dipped her beak in the water and it dribbled down her neck. The next example is the chick's feet got wet. So did you notice there was one chick standing in the pot of water? The tiniest chick stood in the clay pot to drink the cool water. So that gives you a better visual of what went on. And the final example is the chicks ran away. And how can I show that? The chicks scurried back to their nest, their tiny top knots flapping in the breeze. Now, when you write your story, I want you to think of some ways to show instead of tell. I want you to write your own story. Remembering the video, I would like for you to write a story that shows and does not tell the story of the chicks drinking water from the clay pot. I would love to read your stories, so please send them to me through the contact form on my website. You can find the address to my website in the description and on the final slide. And I will in turn send you a coloring page from one of my Quincy books, and I'll also read your story on my YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. And thank you so much for watching.